I do. Alistair thinks he can scare me with his sgeulachdan, but I've got a great one to tell tonight.
Has it got a teich or each-uisge or the outlaw Macleòid?
You'll just have to wait and see. Hurry up, the Taobh is the best place for telling stories.
It is, but I'm glad we don't live there anymore. It's too dark and smoky. I like our new modern house.
Come on, I'm cold. Let's go sit by the fire in the old house. It's much warmer there.
We're ready to get the sgeulachdan started. I have a good one tonight, a real spooky one. I bet you'll go running home to your mammy, Manny.
Ignore him, Mary. I'll protect you. Let us in out the cold.
Hello, you two. You're just in time. I've just finished my chores.
I finished all my chores too. Now, let's get ready for the sgeulachdan to start.
Have you got the fire roaring, Alistair? It's a cold night and we'll all need to sit round close to it. Come in.
Who's going first telling the sgeulachdan tonight then? We'll have to be quiet. Gran's sleeping in the next room.
Shh! You'll wake her and we want to have our stories first.
My story's the best, so should I go first or should I go last?
Alistair, you're such a big head. Who said your story's best?
Well, if you don't want to hear my story about the eagallach and the brave Lewis man that fought him off, I'll just tell the others at school tomorrow.
Eagallach? Was it somewhere near here?
It was, Maddie. Near enough where it could swim up to the village, I imagine. I'll save it for our last story tonight.
Then let's begin with a Macleòid story.
Macleòid, Lewis's infamous outlaw.
It's not true though. Mammy says he didn't exist and the stories are all made up to scare us kids into behaving.
That's what she says, but my granddad once knew a man who met Macleòid, and that man was the only man to ever scare him.
He wasn't scared of anyone. He was a terrible outlaw. He went about terrorising people, stealing their sheep and cattle, and even murdering folk.
But one wee fisher lad called Doel Roy Buck once got the better of him. He had been sent to buy new fishing nets one hot summer's day. It was heavy and sweaty work, carrying yards of draped net across his shoulders on the moors back to his village. What Doel didn't know was that Macleòid was following him. He was creeping up on Doel to steal what he could when he got ski. Just when Doel was starting to feel really hot and ski, the whole parcel unravelled. He just gathered up the bundle of nets and draped them across his shoulders and arms. So the next time Macleòid peered over the mound, what he saw terrified him. He had believed he had met a creature from another world.
I remember Dad telling me he had tricked people into thinking they had come across a teich.
Go on, Angus, it's your turn.
Well, you know the cashel, the old Norse mill up the road, is meant to be haunted by Bòrd. One time in winter, Dad was walking to Barvis. He heard voices coming from the brew direction. Everything was frozen, and he stepped on some ice. It made a massive, loud crack, and then an eerie, shrieking sound. Everyone started screaming with fear. They were all convinced it was Bòrd.
Did he ever tell them it was him?
Of course not. He just enjoyed listening to them telling the stories, secretly knowing all along it was him. I really don't believe in ghosts. Do you?
I'm not so sure. Now it's time for my story, the best one of the night. People often used to see an eagallach in the loch near Uist. And one night, a couple of farm workers were woken up by the most tremendous noise ever. that continued all night long. In the morning, they found the bull, the young cow, was missing, and they searched high and low for it, but it was nowhere to be found. The terrible noise that they heard all night long was a battle between the young cow and an eagallach. The eagallach came in the night to drag the young cow away into the water. So the farm workers were terrified and told the farmer they couldn't work there as long as the beast was still alive. Something had to be done. So the farmer set off to find the bravest man on Uist at the time, Macleòid of Hacleit, and he told him he would pay him a handsome reward if he be rid of the terrible beast. So Macleòid gathered his arrows and set off for many, many miles, until he finally reached the water. When out of the water reared a mighty eagallach, and it dived upon a bull, killing it at once. The rest of the crow went scattering in every direction, running for their lives. This was now Macleòid's chance. He opened fire upon the beast, but this only made it angry. It now made for Macleòid. This was Macleòid's chance. He now drew his bow and dheidhinn, the chief of arrows, only used in desperate situations. He aimed it at the beast and shot it, and it went stumbling to the ground. Macleòid now drew near, taking out his sword and plunging it into its belly, killing the beast. The farmer said he would pay him a handsome reward, but Macleòid refused, saying, "If all dangers of the beasts of the loch were gone, I would take my reward. But I think you will need my services again soon."
He thought that there were more monsters in the loch.
He did, Mary. I wonder which brave man or woman from our village would go to fight an eagallach if one just appeared over there in the loch.
Stat, Alistair, you're scaring her now.
Ah, well, if you think tonight's story was scary, you just wait until tomorrow's.
Alistair! It's late. It's time to go to Yappy.
Aichiva. Cattle ma. Cattle ma.
Just think, people have sat like us telling each other Sgeulachdan in the Black House for centuries.
I wonder what Sgeulachdan people will tell each other in the future.
I bet they're not as good as ours. Do you think they'll still know about their eagallach and t-Srònaich?
I hope so, Mary.
How many churches for